On today's show, Ana Maria Apau and Fernando Benevidas from Latin Passion Dance Academy, and Gianny Correa and Ana de Mexico from Latin Power Band. Join me as we learn more about these hidden gems of London.
In the forest city, London, London, oh, in the forest city, London, London, oh.
Welcome to London's Hidden Talent. I'm your host, Jennifer Martino. Here in London, Ontario, our art and culture scene is thriving thanks to the fusion of lifelong Londoners and talented artists from all around the world who have made this community their home. Together, we will get to know the people who are bringing our stages, galleries, and streets to life. First up, we have Latin Passion Dance Academy. As dance instructors and event organizers, Ana Maria Apau and Fernando Benevidas light up summer evenings on Dundas Place with salsa on the street. They host weekly dance socials and offer dance lessons in their studio. Welcome, Ana Maria and Fernando from Latin Passion Dance Academy. Thank you for being the very first guests on London's Hidden Talent. And I wanted you guys to come to be the first guests on this show because we have something very special in common, and that's passion for Latin dance and music. And also, none of us are Latinos. So I think that's kind of a unique connection. Yeah. And so first, for those who haven't heard about Latin Passion Dance Academy, could you tell me a little bit about what your company is?
Well, Latin Passion Dance Academy has been around for a while. I used to be in the Toronto area, but have moved out to London since marrying this beautiful lady. And we decided to start it together here. Since she knows a lot of people and myself being you, it's a passion that I've always had for dance and bringing people together just to enjoy a nice evening of dancing, friendships, and building something special amongst the people.
Well, thank you for having us, Jen. And we're very happy to be here as well. And yeah, we're here because we love salsa dancing, and I think that's how we met as well. And we are Latin Passion Dance Academy. The word passion is right there. And we provide dance instruction as well as create and host social dance events.
And when I was thinking about the name Latin Passion Dance Academy and this idea that anyone can be passionate about dance, but there seems to be something about Latin dance and music that brings people together no matter where you were born or what music you grew up listening to. And we see at Sunfest every year packed crowds when you've got a Cuban band like there was in this year's Sunfest. What do you think it is about Latin music specifically that draws people in, even if that isn't part of the cultural background that they grew up with?
In my opinion, I believe it's the sound. The sound of the music is very uplifting. It's energy. It draws a lot of energy from the crowd, and it gives it back at the same time. When I found Latin dancing, it's just something that for myself, I fell in love with it. There was something about the music that was very energizing. It didn't matter if I knew how to dance back then or not. As soon as I heard the music, my feet were tapping and I was moving. It didn't matter how good I was or how bad I was. It's just that music has an energy that's uplifting. It's a very refined energy that makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good to just be around people and dance.
And before you found Latin dance and music, were there other kinds of music that you were already dancing to, or is that kind of part of your upbringing?
I used to do quite a bit of dancing in a day. During the disco era, of course, we were dancing disco, and then I got involved with dancing in a little bit of ballroom, not as much as I would have loved to. But then all of a sudden, lambada came around, the Brazilian style dancing, and I got very much involved in that and actually competed and traveled a little bit because of it. So I was very grateful for that until I found Latin Passion. Finding that kind of music just kind of gave me a whole new energy to go back into dancing. And that's just something that I've never been able to stop doing since.
And Ana, When did you come into Latin dance and how did you get started?
Well, I had a friend who had been trying to convince me to go to a salsa night event many moons ago, and I finally did on a Valentine's of 2018, and I went with a friend and to a salsa night, and we were hooked, and I stayed hooked onto the passion for dancing. I loved the energy. There was something about it. I don't know. I can't even describe it. And I think it's funny that you say that we're not even Latino. So I'm originally born and raised in Malaysia, and Fernando is Portuguese. But we always joke now that my feet are Latina and my heart is Latina, mi corazón. And yeah, there's just something about it and the energy. And we try and bring that energy and to the community, to any of the social dance events that we host. So yeah.
How did you feel that first time? Because I imagine you weren't very experienced with Latin dance, and to go into a place like a Latin social, it can be pretty intimidating, especially when you're looking out at really good dancers with good flow, and they know all the steps, and they know the difference between a merengue and a bachata and a cumbia and a salsa. So do you remember what it felt like to walk in there that first day?
Yes, and it's funny because it was at least 2-3 months before I could distinguish between, bachata or salsa, but you get it now. It's funny how you can't undo that, right? But the funny thing is that when I first went, I was very lucky because the group that was there at the salsa night, they were so welcoming, and that is the key ingredient to making sure that any social dance events stays positive and vibrant, and that is to just be very welcoming, regardless of whether somebody's brand new or whether you've had lots of experience. You never ever forget the day that you first went to your very first salsa and you knew nothing, right? So we try and create that every single time we do an event.
And that's what you guys are doing for London now. You have your dance studio where you get formal lessons, and then you also have your salsa on the street, you have a dance camp in the summer, and then you have regular socials, you have galas.
Yes.
What would you say to somebody who has always wanted to try dance but feels a little bit nervous about it? Would you recommend that they try salsa on the street or a social first? Would you recommend that they go right into lessons? What's the best way to get started?
Both.
For most people, the way I have seen it, and from what I remember for myself in particularly, salsa on the street would be the best. It's very welcoming. It's a group of people that are very open to experimenting with the music, to dancing. It's also a lot of our own students who are there are always very welcoming and take people out and show them what to do. So I think salsa on the street would be one of the best ways to do that.
And
like for myself, when I first started, I was totally afraid to even move from the corner. Watching people's feet moving like there was no tomorrow, and I'm just like, what am I going to do here? Until I learned, for me, it was difficult back then. But the way that we are opening the doors to everyone, I think it's very welcoming and easy to get into it.
We also would recommend both the lessons, formal lessons, as well as coming out to the dance socials. But the dance socials are always the best introduction, honestly, because at the very beginning of dance socials, we always try and throw in a 30 to 40 minute dance lessons. Now it may be basic, and then there may be the odd night where it's a bit more advanced, but for the most part, if you're brand new, you don't know, and you have 2 left feet, and we love people with left feet because we'll make them both right. Come to the dance socials, whether it's a Wednesday night that we host or during the summer, go to street salsa. Come to the lessons, practice it, listen, ask questions, don't be afraid, and then take formal lessons, because there is a difference between formal classes as well as informal ones at the dance socials.
And the name of the show is London's Hidden Talent, because I'm always amazed by the talent of people that you might otherwise not expect to have a passion for or a presence in the art scene. And when you and I first met, Anna, you were working full-time in an office for the city. You would leave your desk and you would go out to the street to teach lessons, or you'd be going on the weekends to teach in your studio. And I think that's such an important thing for people to know, that we can connect to each other in our offices, or if we're working outside, or even the person that is serving our coffee at Tim Hortons. You don't know what kind of artistic passion and talent they have behind them. Yes. And you guys are fortunate because now you've been able to dedicate yourselves to this full time, but you had to start somewhere. So is there any advice you'd have for somebody who has a passion, they also have a full-time job, and they're not quite sure how to get started?
My opinion, to anyone who has something that they can offer, any kind of talent, whether it's a hidden talent or something open, don't be afraid to go out and try it. Don't be afraid to put your foot forward. Even though you're working full time, you can always make 1 to 2 hours available for what you love. And that is something that's important. You need to be out there and get it out in the open so people can see what it is that you do. And that's something that I find that is the most important part to do. Make the time available and do what you love.
And to be honest with you, we should always somehow, but always try and make time for a mental health break and for yourself. So if I was almost running on empty because I had the day job as well as the night job here, and hit repeat, right, every day. But this job, well, I mean, I call it a job, but really it's a passion, as you know. So it's really not a job. But we not only love it, but there's something about it that's so magical, that what happens is that it really stimulates the brain, and it's better than exercise. And what happens is that when you get filled up with all these endorphins, this mental energy, right? It really fuels the soul for any other passions that you have. So if that's what you need, if you need something to go and boost your work life, this is it. If you need something to boost your social life, this is it. If you we laugh because we often have couples, or people who ask, do we need to sign up as a couple? No, you don't. But with the couples who do sign up, we laugh because Fernando will always say, rule number 1 on the dance floor is that the leads lead. And for the most part, we have the gentlemen in the class, they'll be the ones who will lead. But Fernando will say, let the gentleman lead, please. I said, this is the only place I get to lead. And then I said, and gentlemen, don't forget, outside of the dance floor, you are the lead. Therefore, take lots of dance lessons or go dancing a lot.
Well, we're just about out of time. As I mentioned, I've been to your dance classes with my daughter, Pearl, and we had a really good experience there. And she's been really interested in bachata ever since. Oh. I've been to your salsa dance camp at Quiet Earth Farm, had a wonderful time. That was a great community experience. I absolutely loved every salsa on the street that I've been to, and you've got some big bands there. Yes. You've got lots of local talent. Your galas feature really big salsa orchestras, both from Toronto and from the Western Salsa Band. And of course, you've got a full calendar of activities throughout the year. If somebody wanted to get started, even just to try it out and see if they can get those feet moving, where could they learn more about you?
Well, we have a website, and probably that is the best source for any current and up-to-date lesson. So dance schedule. So it is www.latinpassiondanceacademy.ca. So go there. Our calendar will be up. If it's not up, that means we are on a break. But otherwise, keep checking our website.
Yeah, there are no shortage of activities with Latin Passion Dance Academy. Well, thank you again for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you out there dancing. You're there and everywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Jen.
Next, we have saxophonist and musical director Gianny Correa and singer Ana de Mexico. Gianny is a classically trained musician from Cienfuegos, Cuba, who performs all over southwestern Ontario as a solo artist and with bands such as Latin Power and Que Bola. Ana de Mexico is the lead singer of Latin Power Band, as well as a solo artist who has recently released original music. Latin Power Band was the winner of the Forest City London Music Awards World Music category in 2023. Hi, Anna and Gianny. Thank you so much for joining London's Hidden Talent. And I feel really honored that you came on the very first episode of this show. I've known you guys for a few years now from all of your musical performances in London, but I wanted to get to know you a little bit better. And I would say you are some of the biggest talents of our city, and you're not hidden to me, but I know that many Londoners don't know you very well yet. So I really thank you for coming and taking the time to tell a little bit of your stories. So would you like to just introduce yourselves first?
Thank you, Jennifer, for the invitation. We are happy to be here, of course. My artistic name is Ana de Mexico. I was born and raised in Mexico and with musicians in my family. My father used to sing in a rock and roll band. So whenever he had time, sat around the house playing guitar and singing for us. So everybody sit around, start singing, playing, dancing. That's why I started my passion and love for the music. So I developed on my next years in the school. I joined every music club, choir, rondalla, estudiantina. So I continued with my music career. When I graduated from university, I joined a Latin band, being the lead singer. So I stayed there for years. Then I came here to Canada, and I was looking to pursue my career to continue singing. So I was looking around, see where to do it. So here in London, I was surprised that there were two bands, Latino bands, what I just wanted to know. But one day, one friend asked me to go to sing a karaoke night, and she never showed. I was there on my own. And then the person in charge of this karaoke night came to me and said, "Would you like to sing a song?" I say, "Sure." And then he asked me, "You know Amor de mis Amores?" That is a cumbia from La Sonora Dinamita. Then he listened to me and asked me, "Would you like to join my band?" And he was the director of the Latin Power Band, who is here next to me, Gianny Correa. So that way I started my journey and in the band. For now, it's going to be like almost 12 years being the lead singer of the Latin Power Band. So I'm so grateful and happy to be there.
Wow, that's an amazing way to meet. And Gianny, that makes a lot of sense because I see you in the community playing with bands like Latin Power Band and Que Bola, also as a solo act and sometimes as a duo with Anna. But something I've noticed about you is that you're always there to support other artists and to encourage people and also to support and encourage children because you're a music teacher. Mm-hmm. So could you tell us how you got to be so passionate about music and how you decided to make this a whole life for yourself?
Well, I started in Cuba when I was 9 years old, my music career at the elementary school. Was in Cienfuegos, Cuba, where I born. And after I went, when I graduated from the elementary, we went to the national school in Havana, Cuba. So I graduated there in 1995. So from there, I started to teach music and also enjoy a band. And I was from 1995 to 2001. So in 1999, 2000, we started to do a tour, Cuba to Canada, Montreal, and the last was here in 2001. So I always have a passion to, for the music. So I think that's the most I love. I love it there. To teach music, to play music, support, make all kind of music. Have a beautiful experience here in Canada because it's more variety of music. I play folk music, like reggae, Indian music. Of course, like Latin music is the mostly what I play.
When you first came to London, was there a lot of Latin music? Or was it hard to find other people who played that style of music and who liked to enjoy it?
Yeah, where I came was not too many, actually not too many Latin places, and not too many bands. They grow very fast here in London. I'm so happy because, yeah, the support was amazing, yeah, on those years.
And talk about Latin music being more accepted in London and more people enjoying it. This year, you played New Year's Eve at Victoria Park as Latin Power Band and also with other guests. And something I really appreciated about that performance was that you invited people who otherwise might not have had an opportunity to be on a big stage like that. And you ended up creating a super band, an all-star band of Latin artists in London. And I was fortunate enough to be able to introduce you that night and do some dancing on the stage. And what was it like to be up there in front of over 10,000 people in the park?
It was really exciting. It was a good experience for us as an artist, as a musicians, because we are showing to the community what it's like to be Latin musician. So everybody can know, get immersed in our culture, in our language, in music, dance. So that was a great experience for me, and I think for you too, right?
Yeah, of course. It was amazing. And to enjoy it, all the musicians, and also for the Simple Reflection, we get together to do all this amazing concert that night. We had to thank big time London to support our music. Yeah.
And that was a collaboration with the Simple Reflections for Artists Collective that you're both a part of, and you are very supportive of all of the Simple Reflections event, and also with the Forest City London Music Awards and the Digital Creative Arts Centre.
Yeah, actually we won 2022 the London Music Award, and that one is this year, 2024, for the like musician for the favorite for the fan.
Yeah, this year you were nominated as fan favorite for Latin Power Band, but then also, Gianny, you were awarded this special award as part of the Fantasy Band, and that's where Londoners select out of any musicians that they know in the community, who would they like to see play together in a fantasy scenario, and you became one of those people for your saxophone playing. And then also, as you mentioned, in 2023, Latin Power Band won the World Music category of the awards.
The World Music, yeah.
And that was a really, really awesome experience. And also, I think it's really inspiring to up-and-coming musicians in our community, and especially those who are from Latin America, to know how much Latin music is appreciated here in London.
We had to thank for all the support of the fans and the London community. But we really, really had to thank. And also we did with the Simple Reflection London, the Latin Roots album that was beautiful with a lot of amazing artists.
Yeah. And I think you both have original songs on this album.
Yes.
Anna, you have one that was written by your sister, La Chaparita. Could you tell us a little bit about that song?
This song is La Chaparita. Is my sister, who is a composer and musician. She wrote it like to reflect my life in that song, and the life of the person who lived their own country and looking for new experience and new opportunities to fulfill the dreams. So this was reflected in that song. And it's not just for me, it's for all the people, all the women and all the person who live the countries of the origin, but bringing our country in their heart and continue follow the dreams.
We know that some people can be musicians full-time, but for most people, that's not a reality. And you have been able to have other employment in our community as well and still share your love of music. And so could you tell me a little bit about what you do outside of your role as a singer and with the bands?
Of course, yes, I work in a retirement home. It's, for me, it's a way to give back to the older people what they gave all the life. So it's a way to give back to them. And I work as a recreationist. So sometimes I sing for them, I do plays, I do games, talking to them. And it makes me happy that when they are happy. So that's my side of a music career.
If somebody is new to our community and they have a job, because of course they have to pay for their rent or their mortgage and they have to buy food, but they also have a passion for something like singing, what would you tell that person about how they could explore that talent and that passion?
I think everybody has to pursue the dream, right? Never give back. So continue practice, looking for ways to get in there and never give back. So that's a way to get in there.
Maybe even go to a karaoke night. You never know who you could be.
That's right. That's right.
You never know where's your opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gianny, as part of the New Year's presentation at Victoria Park, you invited one of your students, David, to join you, and you've been teaching him the saxophone. Could you tell us a little bit about the young people that you're working with and their role in our up-and-coming music scene in London?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I have David, and also was 3 of my students there that night. It was Johnny, it was the conga player, and El Colocho, David Parada, also was my student. And Johnny was my first student 20 years ago when I came to Canada. So I think it's I just invite all those kids, they love music. Just study and practice, and your dreams going through when you do hard, study every day, and just invite them. Your dream always can come true. Never get away.
And I really appreciate how you give people an opportunity, because as you're talking about making your own opportunity, sometimes you need somebody to reach out to you too and to give you a place on that stage. And it was just beautiful to see your students and the rest of the group is glowing and happy and getting that feedback from the crowd. And Londoners absolutely loved that performance, and you could just feel the good energy coming from the park. If people would like to learn a little bit more about you as solo artists or together as Latin Power Band, or even to take music lessons, how could they do that?
I have my Facebook, which is Ana de Mexico. I have Instagram, which is Ana de Mexico 1. I have TikTok, which is Ana de Mexico, that official. Also, I have my profile with the collective that I belong, Simple Reflection for Artists, which I'm so thankful for them. And also in the London office.
London Music Office.
London Music Office, I have my profile there too.
Great.
Yeah, so, well, the band have a Latin Power Band on Facebook. You can look at over there on Facebook, Latin Power Band, to connect. Over there you can see, they have my phone number. I have my Facebook, Gianny Correa, and Instagram, Gianny Sax. And also at the London Music Office, you can look for Latin Power Band, also Gianny Correa, anything you can contact over there. And the Simple Reflection there.
Yeah. And people can find you playing live all over our community. You play at lots of different venues, and you're really helping to support local businesses by doing that. We've also seen you at Salsa on the Street with Anna Maria and Fernando, who are just on the show with Latin Passion Dance Academy. So my advice to Londoners would be, if they ever hear that Latin Power is playing, go to one of your shows, and most importantly, get out on the dance floor. It doesn't matter if you know all of the steps, just show you as musicians that you're feeling the music. And I've enjoyed myself every single time that I've seen you play. So I hope that the rest of London will get out and get to know you, because you're just really great people and great members of our community, but your talent is also some of the best that I've ever seen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So yeah, it's priceless when they enjoy our music and show us that they're having fun. That's priceless for us.
I look forward to seeing every Londoner at the next Latin Power Show. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for inviting us.
And I want simple reflections. Come join the celebration in the forest city. I am gonna stay beautiful in every season, beautiful night and day. In the forest city, I am gonna stay. The whole world is represented. Everybody celebrate in the forest city, London, London. Oh, in the forest city, London, London. Oh, in the forest city, London, London. Oh, in the forest city, London, London. Oh.
In London, I fell in love.